Uncle Elwood. Remember, we agreed not to talk about this afternoon. The whole reason of this party is to get you started. We worked with the older women to get to the younger group. We can't have anyone here in the evening, and that's when they come to see you. In the evening. The only reason we even have the party this afternoon is because Uncle Elwood is playing pinochle at the 4th Avenue Firehouse. And it's for the firehouse. Well, we'll just have to invite you out, whether they like it or not. I don't care what anybody has to say. Myrtle, you've got so much to offer. There's something sweet about every young girl. A man takes that sweetness and look what he does with it. But you just got to meet somebody, Myrtle. That's all there's to it. But if I do, they say, that's Myrtle May Simmons. Her uncle's Elwood P. Dowd, the biggest screwball in town. Elwood P. Dowd and his pal. You promised. All right. Let's get them into the dining room. Now remember, Myrtle, when the members come in here and you give your little speech on behalf of your grandmother, remember to do this. And then, after that, I'll mention my Uncle Elwood and say a few words about his pal Harvey. That's right, Myrtle May. Let everybody in the Wednesday Forum hear you. You promised you wouldn't say that name, and you said it. I'm sorry, Mother, but how do you know that Uncle Elwood won't come in and introduce Harvey to everybody? Myrtle, it's serious, you. Even people do call your uncle peculiar. He's still my brother, and he won't be here this afternoon. Are you sure? Of course I'm sure. Then, Mother, why can't we live like other people? Must I remind you again, Myrtle May? We are not, Uncle Elwood's not living with us. We are living with him. Living with him and Harvey. Did Grandmother know about Harvey? I wondered and wondered about that. She never did write and say if she did. Why did she have to leave all her property to Uncle Elwood? Well, I would imagine it was because she died in his arms. People are sentimental about things like that, you know. You always say that, and it doesn't make any sense. She couldn't make out a will after she died, could she? Don't be so didactic, Myrtle May. It's not becoming about a young girl, and then loathe it. Now, don't forget to wave your hand like this. I'll do my best. Oh, Mr. Prince, voice is certainly fading, but not fast enough. Perfectly lovely, Mr. Prince, lovely. I simply loved it.
That can be. Vita doesn't feel that way about you. Won't you have a seat? Excuse me, one moment. I have to answer the phone. Make yourself comfortable. Hello? Oh, you've got the wrong number. But how are you anyway? This is Elwood P. Dowd speaking. I'll do. Well, thank you. And what is your name, my dear? Miss Elsie Greenewalt? Harvey! It's a Miss Elsie Greenewalt! How are you today, Mrs. Greenewalt? That's fine. Yes, my dear, I would be happy to join your club. I belong to several clubs now. The University Club, the Country Club, and the Pinnacle Club at the 4th Avenue Firehouse. I spend a great deal of my time there, or at Charlie's place. And what is your club, my dear? Harvey, I give the Ladies' Home Journal, Good Housekeeping, and the Open Road for Boys for 2 years. And for only $6.25. I'll join. How does it sound to you, Harvey? Harvey says it sounds fine to him. He'll join. Yes, that's right. 2 subscriptions. Mail everything to this address. I hope I have the chance of meeting you sometime, my dear. Harvey, she says she'd like to meet me too. When? When would you like to meet me, my dear? Well, why not right now? My sister seems to be having a few friends in, and we would consider it an honor if you would come and join us. My sister will be delighted. It's at 343 Temple Drive. I hope to see you in a very few minutes. Goodbye, my dear. Harvey, she's coming right over. Don't you think we better freshen up? Yes, so do I. Come on.
I can't seem to remember where I put my guest list. I must read it, Miss Elsie. Have you seen it, Miss Johnson? No, I haven't. Go look at my dresser. Mother, Mrs. Chauvenet, she's asking for you. Here's Mrs. Chauvenet. Here she is. I thought you were dead. Vida, do you realize that it's been years since I've seen Elwood? Oh, where did the time go? But I don't understand it. I was only talking to Mr. Chauvenet just the other night. What on earth do you suppose happened to Elwood Dowd? He never comes to club dances anymore, and I haven't seen him in a horse show in years. Has Elwood seen anybody, Vida? Oh, yes. Elwood sees somebody. Oh, yes. Your Uncle Elwood's pal is one of my most favorite people. Yes, I remember. Well, who's at the party, Vida? Oh, look, Miss Spring's coming. Just come in. Don't you want to speak to her? Oh, my, but she looks ghastly. Hasn't she failed, though? If you think she looks badly, you should see him. Oh, that's so. Oh, I must have him over. My, but she does look frightful. I thought she was dead. Oh, no. And now, what about Pete? Oh, certainly, if you'll forgive me, I will proceed you. Elwood Dowd, bless your heart.
Aunt Ethel, what a pleasure to come in and find a beautiful woman waiting for me.
Oh, Elwood, you haven't changed. Oh, Aunt Ethel, you must not miss the party. Come to it. You like tea? I do like tea. We'll get to you two. Elwood, what night next week would you to come to dinner?
Any night, Aunt Ethel. Any night at all. I would be delighted.
Elwood, there was some mail for you today. I put it up in your room.
Did you, Vida? That was nice of you. Aunt Ethel, I want you to meet Harvey. As you can see, he's a puka. You've heard me speak of Miss Chauvenet. We've always called her Aunt Ethel. Yes. This is her. This is the one. He says he would have known you anywhere. You both look lovely. Come on in with me. We'll go in and say hi to all of our friends. And Ethel, you're standing in his way. If
What?
you'll just excuse me. Come on in with me. I'll be in there in a minute. Say hello to all of our friends. And Ethel, I can see you're disturbed about Harvey. Please don't be. He stares like that at everyone. But he liked you. I can tell. He liked you very much. I hope to see you in there.
Some tea, perhaps? I must be running along. Honey, I'll be talking to you soon, Vida. Goodbye. I'm so sorry. Oh, no. Myrtle, where are you going? Up to my room. He's introducing Harvey to everyone. No, come back here. These people now. I wish I was dead. Come back here. We'll go back in there and get them together. I won't do it. I can't. No. We've got to look at her. Keep looking. You catch his eye. Now we'll pretend I'm fixing your Yes, I certainly do.
Come along, Harvey. You want to read a book? Okay. Jane Austen. Have a seat. Limited gross head and Dunlap. The usual acknowledgments. Chapter 1. Did you want to talk to Harvey?
Pretty much. I just have to keep holding up my head and going on just the same. That's what I keep telling Myrtle. That's what Myrtle May keeps telling me. She's heartbroken about her Uncle Elwin. Elwin P. Dow. That's it. Elwin P. Dow. His age? 47. The 24th of last April. 47. Is he married? No. Elwin is never married. Staying home with his mother. He was always such a great home boy. He loved his home. You have him with you now? No. I left him down in the taxi cab down the driveway. I paid the driver $1 to watch him, but I didn't tell him why. You can't tell these things to perfect strangers. Wilson, would you be good enough to step down to the taxi in the driveway and ask Mr. Dowd if he would be good enough to step up to room number 24 Southwind G?
Ask him?
This is his sister, Mrs. Simmons.
Oh, how do? Certainly. Be glad to escort him in.
Thank you. My mother says the late must P. Down to cover it all. Judge Gaffney is our attorney. Now I'll see if Dr. Sanderson can see you. Dr. Sanderson? But I thought I was going to see Dr. Chumley. Oh, Mrs. Simmons. Dr. Sanderson is the one who sees everyone. Dr. Chumley sees no one. Dr. Chumley is still the head of this institution, isn't he? He's still a psychiatrist, isn't he? Still a psychiatrist. Dr. Chumley is more than that. He's a psychiatrist with a national reputation. Whenever people have mental breakdowns, they at once think of Dr. Chumley. Well, that's his office, isn't it? You march right in there and tell him I want to see him. Oh, if he knows what's in here, he'll come out here. Mrs. Simmons, I wouldn't dare disturb him. I would be discharged if I did. Hell, I don't like being pushed up on anyone's second fiddle. Dr. Sanderson is no one's second fiddle. He's young, of course, and well, he hasn't been out of medical school very long, but Dr. Chumley tried out 12 and kept Dr. Sanderson. He's really wonderful to the patients. Very well, tell him I'm here. Right away. Oh, am I?
How dang, brother?
Yes, well, I certainly think it would have been.
person you call Harvey. Who is he?
Rabbit!
Perhaps, but just who is he? Some companion, someone your brother has picked up, of whom he disapproves?
Doctor, I've been trying to tell you. Harvey's a big wet rabbit. 6 feet, collars at 6 feet and a half. Haven't let Cousin know he's been around the house long enough.
Now let me understand this, Mrs. Simmons.
Doctor, do I have to get play together? Don't you understand? As I told him, Ellen went to Fran with tickets to theater tickets for the both of them. As I told her to May, if my uncle was so close to me to bring someone home, why couldn't he bring home someone human? He has me, doesn't he? He has little May, doesn't he? Put in a roaming for. Every once in a while, I see that big white rabbit myself. That was that terrible. I haven't even told this to little May. And what's worse, he's everybody's saying about what says he hasn't also told that to anyone, Doctor. I haven't even told little May.
Well, Mrs. Simmons, you've been under a great nervous strain recently.
Yes, I have.
Grief over your mother's death depressed you considerably.
Just try living with those two and hell on your never wholesome.
Lots of appetite?
How can anybody eat the same table with a rabbit if it's my brother? Well, I'm sinister that I'm going to sell the house and be appointed conservator of my brother's estate. I'm depressed. I just can't stand it anymore.
Of course you can't. I'll be right back.
Well, I'll just go down the cabin and estate.
Kelly! Wilson! Why didn't anybody answer the buzzer?
I didn't hear you, Doctor.
I rang and rang.
Get away, huh, Doc?
For condition and serious. Go after her. Main gate. Henry, Dr. Sanderson. Allow no one at the main gate. We're looking for a patient. I shouldn't have left her alone, but nobody answered the buzzer.
Wilson was in South, Doctor.
What have we available, Miss Kelly?
Number 13, Upper West Star is available, Doctor.
Good. Have the woman taken there immediately. I'll prescribe preliminary treatment. I've got to talk to her brother. Dowd is the name. Elwood P. Dowd. Get him on the telephone for me, please, Kelly.
But, Doctor, I didn't know it was the woman who needed the treatment. She said it was for her brother.
Of course she did. It's the oldest dodge in the world. Always used by a cunning type of psychopath. She apparently knew her brother was about to commit her, so she came out to discredit him. Get him on the telephone for me.
She's not out there, Doc.
But, Doctor, I thought the woman was all right. So I had Wilson take the brother up to room number 24, South Suite G. He's there now.
You had Wilson take the brother in? No, Dax. Please, Kelly. You're not serious, are you?
Oh, Doctor, I did. Oh, Doctor, I'm terribly sorry.
Oh, well, then, if you're sorry, that fixes everything.
She's not in there either, Doc.
Oh, no.
I'll do it, Doctor, I'll do it. Miss Dumpy, would you please unlock the door to room number 24 and give Mr. Dowd his clothes and
Ask him to step down to the office right away.
ask him to step down to the office right away. There's been a terrible mistake, and Dr. Sanderson wants to explain.
Explain? Apologize.
Thank heavens they hadn't put him in the hydro tub yet. She'll let him out.
Beautiful and dumb, too. It's almost too good to be true.
Oh, Doctor, I feel terrible. I didn't know. Judge Gaffney called and said that Mrs. Simmons and her brother would be out here, and then when they came in, you don't have to be sarcastic.
Oh, don't I? Stop worrying. We'll squirm out of this somehow.
Where are you going?
I've got to tell the chief about this. My father wants to handle this one himself.
He'll be furious. I know he will. He'll die, and then he'll terminate me.
The responsibility is all mine, Kelly.
Tell him it was my fault, Doctor.
I never mention your name except in my sleep.
But this man now.
Don't let him get away. I'll be right back.
But what shall I say to him? What shall I do? He'll be furious.
Look, he'll probably be 50 feet high, but he's a man, isn't he?
I guess so. His name is Mister.
Go into your old routine. You know, the eyes, the swish, the works. I'm immune, but I've seen it with some of my patients. Keep it here, Kelly.
Well, of all the... Oh, you're just about the most wonderful person in the world, Dr. Sanderson.
Yeah, but how about give me a hand just the same?
What?
Oh, it's that Simmons date.
Well, did you catch her?
Yeah, she's wacky, all right. She come walking along that path, humming a little tune, and I jumped out from behind the tree and said, "Sister, there's a man." Oh, she's there right now. Brought her into the back kitchen, screaming and yelling like crazy. I'll sit on her if you come take her corset off.
Now wait just a minute, Wilson. I told Dr. Sanderson I'd stay here. Until her brother came down.
Okay, well, make it snappy.
You're Mr. Dowd.
L to P. Because that's the old one.
Well, thank you.
Perfectly all right. And if you lose it, don't worry. I have plenty more.
Well, won't you please take a chair, Mr. Dowd?
Thank you. I'll have to. Allow me.
Dr. Sanderson is very anxious.
You, my dear.
Oh, really, I couldn't. I'm in and out all the time. But you mustn't mind me. Please sit down.
After you.
Could I get you a magazine or something to look at?
I'd much rather look at you, Miss Kelly. You really... Introduce me.
Out here.
Well, good.
First, I want to say...
After Miss Kelly.
Sit down, Kelly. Now, is that chair quite comfortable, Mr. Dowd?
Yes, quite. Would you care to try it out?
No, thank you. How about an ashtray? Could we do without an ashtray? How about the temperature? Is it too warm in here for you, Mr. Dowd? Would you like me to open a window?
Mr. Dowd, Dr. Sanderson wants to know if you should open a window.
That's entirely up to him. I wouldn't presume to live my life for him.
Now then, Mr. Dowd, I can see you're not the type of person to be taken in by any iPhone faces or beating about the bush.
Is that a fact?
You have us at a slight disadvantage here. You know it, we know it. So let's just lay the cards on the table.
That certainly does appeal to me.
The best way in the long run, people are people, no matter where you go.
That is often the very case.
Being human are liable to make mistakes. Miss Kell and I have made a slight mistake here this afternoon, and we'd like to explain it to you.
But it wasn't Dr. Sanderson's fault, Mr. Dowd. It was all mine.
A human failing, as I said.
You and Miss Kelly here. This afternoon, you say?
We do hope you'll understand, Mr. Dowd.
Oh, of course. This is often the basis to a long and warm friendship.
And the responsibility is, of course, not hers, but mine.
Doctor, your attitude may be old-fashioned, but I like it.
Now then, if I had seen your sister...
On the Vita. But I guess she had seen her day.
You must not attach any blame to her, Mr. Dowd. Your sister is a very sick woman. She came in here insisting you were in need of treatment. Why, that's perfectly ridiculous.
Yes, I tell Vita not to worry about it.
Exactly. But she had all...
I know him. Know his wife, too.
She was extremely nervous.
That was Vita.
And then she became hysterical.
I tell Vita not to worry about that. I'll take care of that.
It was when she began talking so emotionally about this big white rabbit. Harvey. Yes, I believe she called him Harvey.
Yes, yes. Harvey is his name.
She claimed that you were persecuting her with Harvey.
I am persecuting her with Harvey. Vita shouldn't feel that way.
Mr. Dowd, your sister's condition did not spring up overnight. Her condition stems from trauma.
From what?
From trauma, spelled T-R-A-U-M-A. It means shock. Nothing unusual about it. There's the birth trauma. The shock to the act of being born.
That's the one we never get over.
You're a funny man, Dowd, isn't he, Miss Kelly?
Oh, yes, Doctor.
May I say the same about both of you, too?
Just sum it all up.
But I wouldn't want Vita to stay out here unless she really wanted to.
Of course. Did Wilson get what he went after?
Yes, Doctor.
What was Mrs. Simmons' attitude?
Not unusual.
Mr. Dowd, If this were any ordinary delusion, something reflected on the memory picture, in other words, if your sister were seeing something she had seen once, that would be one thing. But this is more serious. It stands to reason no one has ever seen a big white rabbit 6 feet tall.
Not very often.
I like you, Dal.
I like you too, Doctor. And Miss Kelly here. I like you too.
Your sister must be committed here temporarily. Under these circumstances, I would commit my own grandmother. Now then, would you sign these temporary commitment papers as next?
For the family.
Well, we shouldn't disturb her now.
Oh, well then let me call Judge Gaffney. I'm sure he could be over
You
here.
can talk to him about this all later. Tell him I advised it. And it isn't as if you couldn't come in here any day and make inquiries. Glad to have you. I'll make out a full visitor's pass for you, and I'll let you look around. When would you like to come back? On Wednesday, say? Friday, say?
Well, how about right after dinner? About an hour.
Well, we're pretty busy around here, but I guess that's okay.
Well, since you're so busy, I can stay right now. I really don't have to leave.
Well, Miss Carol and I have to get on upstairs. We've got plenty of work to do, but I tell you what you might like to do.
What might I like to do?
Well, we don't usually do this, but just to make sure in your mind that your sister is in good hands, I'll let you look around. You go through that door and turn right just before the stairway. You'll find the occupational therapy room. And down the hall, you'll find the conservatory, the library, and the diet kitchen.
For Vita's sake, I believe I better do that, Doctor.
I've enjoyed having this little chat with you, Mr. Dowd.
I've enjoyed it too, Doctor. And meeting Miss Kelly here.
And I will say that for a layman, you have an unusually acute perception into psychiatric problems.
Is that a fact? I never thought I knew anything about it. Nobody does, do you think?
Well, the good psychiatrist is not found under any bush.
You do have to look under the right bush. And since we're enjoying this so much, why don't we go down to Charlie's place?
Maybe some other time. Give us a rain check. Some other time, yeah, we'll be glad to.
When? When would you be glad to?
Well, Mrs. Kelly and I don't get off duty till 10 o'clock at night.
Well, then 10 o'clock tonight it will be.
Well,
And Miss Kelly here?
Dr. Chumley doesn't like members of the staff fraternizing, but since you've been so understanding, perhaps you could manage it.
Well, then I'll... But you said later on. So later on it will be. Good night.
Was proud. What he had to be proud of, I don't know. But I played into that pride. You can almost get to anyone if you want to. Now, I gotta go check in on that Simmons one.
Dr. Sanderson, you say you can get to almost anyone if you want.
One thing I don't like about this Dow business,
What's that?
having to make this date with him. He's left here as a good friend, and there's no point in it. I'll go with him to Charlie's, pat him on the back, and leave. Besides, I got a date tonight anyway.
Oh. Well, yes, by all means. I didn't intend to go anyway.
What is the matter with you, Kelly? What are you getting so emotional about?
Now listen, he may be a peculiar man with funny clothes, but he knows how to act. His manners were perfect.
I saw you giving him that doll stare. I didn't miss that.
He wouldn't sit down till I sat down. He told me I was lovely, and he called me dear. I'd go to Charlie's with him if you weren't going.
Of course you would, and sit with him. All that fella does is hang around Don. But you go with him to Charlie's and let him flatter you. Why, you're a wonderful girl, Kelly.
Now let me tell you something.
My Kelly! As if it's smooth. Lord. Make for an animal of any kind. Harvey's a man's name. In my day, I know many men with names. Also need down the prescription.
Thank you, Doctor.
Whose hat coat is that?
I don't know. Was it Dowd's, Kelly?
Well, I don't know. Dad had a hat on when he came in. Maybe it belongs to a relative of one of the patients.
Well, hand me that hat. There may be some sort of identification. Doc? Hello, Wilson. How is every little old thing? There, thank you. You know, someone's gonna have to give me a hand with that Simmons thing. She's terrible. Well, you forgot about me, didn't you? That's okay. I got her course set up all by myself.
We're going up to check on this patient now, Wilson.
Oh, that's fine. She's in the hydro tub as we speak. I left the water running!
Billy, remember your promise. Oh, hello, Dr. Sanderson. You talked about Dr. Miller's dinner party.
That.
Dynasty inside that house.
Well, good for you. I'm happy to know you. Let me give you one of my cards. If you should want to call me at this one. Don't call me at that one, because that's the old one.
Thank you. Is there something I can do for you?
Well, what did you have in mind?
Please.
Yes, I'm looking for Harvey.
Harvey, is he a patient here?
Oh no, nothing like that.
Does he work here?
Oh no, he's what you might call my best friend. He's also a puka. He came out here with me and Vita this afternoon.
Oh, well, where was he when you last saw him?
He was sitting in that chair when it was pulled up to here, with his hat and coat over there.
Well, there doesn't seem to be any hat or coat around there now. Perhaps he left.
Apparently, I don't seem to be able to find him anywhere. Oh no, as I understand it, it's something very old. Until I met Harvey. I do hope you get a chance to meet him. I'm sure he'd be quite taken with you.
Well, it's very nice of you to say so, I'm sure.
Not at all. If like an empty chair or an empty space on the floor, choose you. Harvey is fond of Vita, and that's because he doesn't seem to care for her.
Protecting my family life.
You know, because if Harvey has said to me once, he has said to me a million times, Mr. Dowd, I would do anything for you. Mrs. Chumley,
Yes?
did you know that Mrs. McHenry's Aunt Rose is going to drop on her unexpectedly tonight from Cleveland?
Why, no, I didn't.
Neither does she. Now that puts you in the same boat, doesn't it?
Well, I don't know anybody named
Mrs. McHenry lives next door to us. Nice people.
Well, if your friend comes in, I'd be glad to give him a message for you.
Would you do that? I certainly appreciate that.
No trouble at all. I'll write it down on the back of this. What would you like me to tell him if he comes in while you're still here?
Well, tell him to meet me downtown. He knows where.
Meet Mr. Dowd downtown. Any particular place downtown?
Oh no, Harvey knows where. He knows this town like a book.
Harvey, you know where. After now, I'm going right downtown to welcome mind you. Please leave your friend to listen to town.
Would you do that? I hate to impose on you, but I greatly appreciate that.
No trouble at all. We'll leave in a few minutes. And, you know, sit on in the back seat and... Oh, he's having a party for his sister from Wichita.
Dr. McClure has a sister from Wichita?
Oh, you know Dr. McClure?
No. I have to go now. It's been very pleasant to meet you. And you can't miss Harvey. He's very tall. He's about like that. Good night, my dear.
That Simmons woman is uncooperative. She refuses to admit to me that ram is hers. Ken, she's still...
Mr. Simmons' brother, Doctor. I told him he could look around, and I
Tell him that.
Yes, doctor.
Well, he did ask if he heard. He was looking for someone. Some friend of his?
Who could that be?
I don't know, doctor.
He said he came out here with him this afternoon.
Was there anyone with him when you saw him, Kelly?
No, doctor, not when I saw him. Well, he said there was, and he said he was sitting in that chair right there with his hat and coat. Seems quite disappointed. Dr. Sanderson, and I told him that if we located his friend, we could give him a lift into town. Is that all right with you, Bill?
Of course, yes.
Oh, here it is. His friend's name was Harvey. Harvey? He didn't give me his last name, but he mentioned something about a pizza. I didn't quite get what that was.
Harvey!
Right tall. And why are you looking like that? Well, Lincoln's man was very polite and nice and simply asked if we locate his friend. And if we can't do things for someone, then why are we living?
Where did he go, Mrs. Chumley? How long ago was he in here?
Give me that hat. By George, we're going to get to the bottom of this.
He left just a few minutes ago, and I don't know where he went.
Mayday. Henry, Dr. Sanderson.
Judge Omar Gaff.
Henry, did a man in a brown suit go out the gate a minute ago? He did. He's gone.
Yes, Judge William Chumley, the psychiatrist.
Yes.
I'm calling to get a routine checkup on a spelling that you have. You called earlier about us committing one of your clients. The name is Dow. Edwin P. That's spelled with the W and not U. Thank you very much.
Dr. Sanderson? I believe your name is Sanderson.
Yes, doctor.
You know that much, do you? You went to school. You studied psychiatry. You graduated. You went forth, and perhaps they neglected to tell you that a rabbit has two large pointed ears. And if the rabbit were to wear hats, you would have to perforate two holes to fit large pointed ears.
Dr. Chumley, Mr. Dowd seemed reasonable enough this afternoon.
The main function of a psychiatrist is to tell the difference between those people who are reasonable and the people who only act and talk reasonable. You have permitted a psychopathic case to walk off these grounds. You know what you've done to me? Don't answer that. You have made me, a psychiatrist, have to call a lawyer to see who came out here to be committed and who came out here to commit.
Dr. Chumley.
Wilson, I need you. Wait here. Peg calls and tells me can't make it to the dinner party. And as for you, you are making me do something I haven't had to do in 50 years. Go out after a patient. And when I come back, your connection with this institution has ended as of that moment. Go get that woman a hug. Wilson, get the car.
Yes.
Cook and tell him to come for dinner. Wilson!
A what? Oh, you can search me, Mr. Chumley.
Encyclopedia there. They have everything. I wonder if it's a key, a little cup. Oh, I don't dare stop to do this now. Mr. Chumley's so hard to hear, though.
Hookah. From old Celtic mythology, a fairy spirit in animal form, always very large. He appears to this one, that one, a wise but mischievous, very fond of rum pots, crackpots. And how are you, Mr. Wilson? And how are you, Mr. Wilson? Who in the encyclopedia wants to know? Dr. Chumley, the screwiest thing just happened.
I know! Head to roll!
Vida. I couldn't get what she was talking about. She was carrying on with something fierce.
Mother carrying on? What about?
I don't know. She was hysterical.
That's strange. She took Uncle Elwood out to the sanitarium. All she had to do was put him in. Did you find it? I'll be right up. They found it.
No, Phil, what are you talking about?
Well, when Mother left the house with Uncle Elwood, I went to the real estate office to put the house on the market. And what do you think I found there?
I'm not a quiz kid.
Well, I found a man there who was looking for an old house, just like this one, to cut up into buffet apartments. He's going through it now.
Now, see here, Mortal Man, this house doesn't belong to you. It belongs to your Uncle Elwood.
But now that Elwood is locked up, Mother controls property, doesn't she?
Where's your mother? Where is Louise?
Judge, she went out to Chumley to tell them about Harvey and to put Uncle Elwood in.
Really? I have the deed to your house. It's in my safe. Well, I feel pretty bad about locking Elwood.
Mother and I will be able to take a long trip now, out to Pasadena.
I always liked that boy. He could have done anything, been anything, made himself a place in the community.
And all he did was get a big...
He had everything, brains, personality, friends. Men liked him, women liked him, I liked him.
Are you telling me that once Uncle Elwood was like other men, that women actually liked him? I mean, in that way?
Not since he started running around with that rabbit, but they did once. Once that mailbox of your grandmother's was full of those little clues in it, it belongs to Elwood.
I can't believe it.
Yes, but there's always something different about Elwood.
I don't doubt that.
Yes, he was always so calm about it, these sudden changes. I used to admire him. But take your average man looking up and seeing a big white rabbit. You'd think he'd do something about it, but not Elwood. He took that calmly, too.
We don't read how far overboard he found this rabbit.
Oh, yes, I do. He's had that rabbit in my office many times. I'm old, but I don't this much. What's that noise?
Suspected fire on the third floor. Look, Judge! I never thought I'd see either of you again!
Steady.
Perfectly all right. Please, not so fast!
Don't rush, Myrtle. These are in.
Oh, let me sit here a minute and get my breath.
Get us some tea, Myrtle. Be sure that you want some tea.
I'll get you some tea, Mother. Get our coat off, Judge.
Let Myrtle get your coat off, Vida.
Leave
Myrtle,
me
get a coat.
alone. Let me get the place where I can sit down. And let me get in my own bed where I can let go. What happened to you, Mother? Judge, I want you to sue them. They put me in the Elwood house. Mother, just look at my hair. Why? What did you say? What did you do? I must have done something. I didn't do a thing. I simply told them about Elwood, and then oh.
Well, go on, Vida. Go on.
I told them Elwood, and then I went down to the back of his thing, and as I was walking along this path, an awful man stepped down and took a hold of me, and then he... A man? What did he do, Mother?
Myrtle, that crutch you should go through.
Never mind, never mind. Come on, Mother.
Go on, Vida.
He took a hold of me and tore me upstairs. So he fallen off. Did your dad stop? Come on, Mother. And then he put me in a tub of water. For heaven's sake. I always said that what your words showed on your faces. Don't you believe it, Judge? Don't you believe it, Myrtle May? That man took hold of me like I was a boy in the streets, but I fought. I always said when a man took me, I'd fight. Haven't I always said that, Myrtle May? She's always said that, Judge. That's what Mother's always told me to do. And then he hustled me into the sanitarium and put me in the tub of water and began to treat me like I was a crazy woman. But he did it just to spite. I know it. And then they took me upstairs and began to ask me a bunch of awful questions about all this filthy stuff. That place ought to be cleaned up, Omar. You've got to get these doors cleaned up. You never down his own world, man. Never.
I will, girl. Charlie thinks he can run an unsavory place like this in the outskirts of town. Maybe he's publicly got that. I'll run him out of the city.
You've got to sue the judge.
Yeah.
Is that all I do in places like that? Talk about that filthy stuff.
I don't know.
They have to be ashamed of themselves. Why don't they go on long walks in the fresh air? Just yes, they walked everywhere for years, didn't you, Judge?
Thing for me to do is to take some notes. You said these doctors. Dr. Chumley and what doctor?
Dr. Sanderson, but don't you pay attention to anything he tells you. He's a liar. Close that eye. They're always
the world and all of your brother.
I'm not giving up. We'll get detectives. We'll find him. And besides, you better save some of that sympathy for me and Mother. You don't realize what we have to put up with. Wait till I show you something I brought from about 6 months ago that we put out in the garage. You just wait.
I'm going to talk to your mom. I said that she's not telling me everything.
Wait till I show you, Judge.
I'll wait. What? What's this? Oh, up with the rabbit. Where is it? No, but who may answer you? Judge Omar Gaffney, where's Chumley? The reason I asked is because the doc always likes to know who he's talking to.
Oh, there you are. Let's not waste time. Has he been here?
Who the hell will know? But see here, doctor, look. Are you sure he ain't been here? He's wise now. If he's hiding, it'll be an awful job to burn him out.
Well, it'll be more difficult, but I'll get him. They're sly, they're cunning, but I always get them. You got the list of places we've been, Wilson.
Oh, yeah, it's right here, Doc.
Read it.
All right. We've been to Bessie's Barn Dance, Carl's Crazy 8, Charlie's Place, Rita's Little Uptown, the 17th Street Firehouse, the 9th Street Firehouse, the 12th, 18th, 14th, 1st, 2nd, 1.5 Street Firehouses, and the grain elevator. Why do you say he goes to the grain elevator? The foreman's a good friend of his.
Oh, we just stopped by here to ask Mrs. Simmons if she has any other ideas of where he might be.
Now see here, Chumley, I must inform you that my client has retained me to file a suit against you.
What?
For what happened to the sanitarium?
A suit?
And while we're on that,
Oh, wait.
what pretty duck? After we drag your tail around town trying to find the guy.
What happened this afternoon must have been a mistake. I have fired my assistant who made it, and I'm going to take full charge of this case. It interests me, and in case it interests me, is a case that's worth more than any amount of money can buy. You can ask any of them.
Yeah, but what about this business this afternoon, Doctor?
Water under the dam. This is how I see it. We need to get that man out to the sanitarium where he belongs.
That's right, Judge. That's just what I think.
Let me introduce Miss Myrtle May Simmons, Mr. Dowell's niece, Mrs. Simmons' daughter.
How do you do, Dr. Chumley?
Hello, Miss Simmons.
Hi, Miss Myrtle.
Hello.
Listen, we need to talk to Mrs. Simmons.
Mother won't come down, Doctor. I know she won't. You try to get Mother to talk to him, Judge.
See here, your mother was man. Oh, nay. She was, Lord knows what she was. The approach on her was not professional, it was personal. Oh, my!
Wilson, that is a serious charge.
Doc, I've been working with you for almost 10 years, and you're going to believe... What's your name again? Judge Omar Gaffney. You're going to believe this blister Gaffney.
Wilson, please.
It wasn't a come with you.
Wilson, you wait here. I have a situation.
Yes, Doc. So you're never with me. You know, if we nab your uncle, you'll be liable to come out on visiting days. Yep. You know, while I'm waiting, I could sure use a sandwich and a cup of coffee.
Certainly. If you'll forgive me, I'll precede you into the...
Oh! You're all right, Myrtle May. Yes, sirree. The doc noticed it right away. He don't miss a trick. Not only do you have a great smile, but, well. But girl, you got something else too.
What?
You got the screwiest uncle that ever set his foot inside our nut.
Hello, Chumley Press. Is Dr. Chumley there? Oh, it's Mrs. Chumley. How are you tonight? This is Ellen P. Dowd. I'm sorry I missed you at the McClure dinner party. Yes, I waited until you phoned and said that you couldn't come because of... What was it? Oh, yes, an escaped lunatic. Where am I? Well, I'm right here. But I'm leaving right away. I've got to go now. Goodbye now. Nice painter.
Doctor, you might as well go home. I'm suing you for $50,000. That's all there is to it.
But Mrs. Simmons,
Hello. Yes. Well, all right.
This picture of your divan.
That portrait happens to be the bride of his home.
Who painted that?
Oh, some man. He came here for the sittings. We paid him and he left. I don't remember his name. Hello? Yes. This is Dexter 1537. Oh, okay. Well, goodbye.
Well, I suppose with the right amount of money, you could bribe anybody to do something like that.
Dr. Chumley, what is it I said to you when you helped me out of that tub at your place?
You expressed yourself. I don't remember the exact.
I said, Dr. Chumley, this is the latest facility. Isn't that what I said?
You said something like that.
Well, you brought it up. You might as well learn something. I took a course in art this past winter and learned the difference between a fine oil painting and a photograph. A photograph shows only the reality, but a painting shows not only the reality, but the dream behind the reality. It's our dreams what keeps us living. It's what separates us from the beast. Why else would we go on living if we were just eating, sleeping, and taking off our clothes and, oh well, putting them on again? And, oh, doctor! Hold me! Oh, doctor! That is not my mother!
Thank God. Steady, girl. You're not get too excited.
Alan's been here! He's been here! I can smell it! Oh.
Then be quiet. I'll handle this. Hello? Yes. Yes, she is here. Oh, hold on. Mrs. Simmons, it's your brother.
Let me talk to him!
Be casual. Don't let her know I'm here.
Hello, Ellen. Get here. Where are you? Oh. He won't tell me where he is. He wants to know where Harvey is.
Tell him Harvey's here.
But he isn't.
Tell me he's here. Might lure him back.
Ellen. Yes, dear. Harvey's here. Won't you come home? Oh. Just a minute. He wants me to call Harvey to the telephone.
Tell him to the bathtub.
The bathtub.
Tell him to the bathtub and send him over when he's ready. That way we'll find out where he is.
Oh, doctor, I
You gotta do it.
Ellen can't come to the telephone right now. He's in the bathtub. I'll have him come over when he's dry. Harvey just walked in where you're at. Oh, doctor, he said Harvey just walked in where he's at. He said there must be a stranger in the bathtub. Oh, but I know where he's at.
Where?
Charlie's place. Over at 12th and Main.
Well, that's 2 blocks down, 1 over.
Yes. Doctor, where are you going?
I'm going to get your brother and take him to the sanitarium.
No, doctor, you can't go after him. Send one of your attendants. I'm warning you.
Do you consider your brother a dangerous man?
Dangerous! Why? He needs to be picked up and locked up and left.
But Mrs. Simmons, if I'm able to help your brother.
Now, when you help my brother, doctor, he's beyond helping.
Nonsense, you underestimate me, Mrs.
No,
Simmons.
doctor, you underestimate my brother and Harvey.
I can handle him.
You only think you can. You only think you can.
I can.
Oh, Myrtle! See you in the bathtub! Oh, dear! Yes, well, thank you. I may call later.
What about the rest of your boxes, Doc, upstairs?
all packed. Thanks, Booker.
No. You know, I'm awful sorry you're hitting the bounce. I had to pay for one to make the grade.
Those are the breaks.
Oh, when you taking off?
As soon as Dr. Chumley gets back.
Oh. Hey, Kelly, have you gotten the report back from the